So Andy, tell us about the tour so far, and how's it been going in the States?
It's gone really well. I mean, we've it was put on really late in the day because Modern Sky. I don't know if you're aware of this Chinese entertainment company, Modern Sky.
No.
That I did a bit of work with in China, and they wanted to do. They've done a couple of festivals, where they put on bands and like British and American bands, but also Chinese bands,
right?
And they're kind of trying to bring those in. So anyway, Modern Sky said, come and do this festival, and they have a habit of doing things really late in the day. So we had like really short notice, so because normally you want to do you want to plan these tours months in advance,
right?
Exactly.
6 months at least, and it's really last minute. However, it's been fine, and it's always. I mean, this is this kind of arrangement. I was used to, when I was younger, we used to say, no, we don't want to do this. We want to stay in a hotel. We don't want to do any of that. But now I've realised that this is by far the more comfortable way of doing things because you basically do the show, do whatever, and then you get your head down and you wake up where you're supposed to be the next day.
Right.
So you're not spending all day staring out the window, or sitting in an airport, or all that stuff. So although it's fairly brutal, but
now
you can live with it.
How has the audience been, especially in reception to the newer songs compared to the songs from Entertainment or Solid Gold?
Well, I've found, there's a couple of songs that we've been doing that, like with Where the Nightingale Sings, which is the first track on the new album.
Yeah, that's a really good song.
Yeah, we do that every night, and sometimes we start with it, sometimes we put it in the middle of the set. People seem to really love it. So, as much as anything, okay, so Damaged Goods gets maybe like, an extra decibel of clapping, but people really seem to be really into that song, and we're doing 2 or 3 things from the new album, because we've been around for such a long time. There's an awful lot of things to choose from.
Exactly.
So, and we kind of play around with it, and sometimes we change it around quite a lot.
Gotcha. Now, how did you get Alison Mosshart to do vocals on those songs?
I was there was this TV thing, like Channel 4 TV in Britain, and they were doing a TV series about what producers do in the studio. So they had me go in the studio and sort of, it's kind of like, not really how it's done, but it's kind of like a kind of shorthand version of, how the producer and the artist interact, and try this, it's not really an accurate representation of what really happens in the studio, but it's kind of the show. So we spent a day with them in the studio, which is where I met her, and I was I think that was when I kind of really got to know what they were like. I'd heard songs of theirs before and stuff, but when you're actually in the studio and talking, you get to know people pretty well. Their little foibles, and strengths, their weaknesses, etc., etc. No, and I just thought I'd ask her to come down, and she was very keen to do so.
Yeah.
I think Gainful's got a, on the kind of commercial scale, we probably score about a 1 out of 10.
Right.
And on the but the creative, artistic, influential school, you know, we're doing a bit of a night.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
Yeah,
and,
of course.
So people like to be involved,
Of
like to be
course. Yeah.
associated.
For good reason.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, in the Bay Area, when you come here, you were here not too long ago, about 6 months ago.
Yeah.
What is your reaction to the Bay Area crowd versus other cities that you've played in?
Now, just to be clear about what the Bay Area is, what do you include in that?
Oakland, San Francisco, Berkeley.
Sacramento? No.
Sacramento's a little bit too far inland.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we've always, I think, you know, the first time we came to San Francisco, it was amazing. You know, the audience around here seemed to just totally get it. I mean, you know, we were supporting the Buzzcocks the first time we played.
Wow.
At somewhere called the Geary Temple,
Mm-hmm.
which is just quite a big venue, and we were supporting. I remember it being unbelievably hot, incredibly hot. You know, it's just, you know, we're just sweating. And, but I remember playing that, and Grill Marcus wrote a really nice piece about it. That was the first time he'd seen Gang of Four, and sort of basically said his mind was blown, you know.
Wow.
So yeah, we've got a, you know, a good connection with the Bay Area. You know, we kind of have some history, and it's interesting because, you know, I think we're one of those bands that Americans seem to really understand. North Americans, Canadians, and Americans, you know, seem to really get in a way more than Brits do. I don't know why precisely. Maybe it's because most of the music that I kind of grew up on was probably American. The stuff that I really liked, with a few exceptions. You know, the Stones I really thought were amazing,
Right.
despite all their problems. You know, but there's a few grooves and riffs that the Stones do, which are pretty much right up there.
Right.
And Dr. Feelgood, you know, were for me pretty inspirational in the way they were so direct with the audience. Because there's a lot of people who just came on the stage like the Grateful Dead, you know, just sat around,
Yeah.
smoking a pipe.
I know exactly. Yeah.
And so,
Yeah. Growing up in the Bay Area, you get that a lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, where's you know, and these rambling things. I mean, you know, I've got nothing against Grateful Dead, you know. Some Dark Star, fantastic track. But I digress. The point about Dr. Feelgood was that it's the complete opposite of all that. It was like, it was snappy, absolutely super tight, robotic, you know, and you just got it like that.
Right.
It was like it was like a sort of shot of hard liquor, you know. It's like bang,
Immediate. Yeah.
you know, and that was, you know, they're a great British band, you know.
Now, a question that I personally wanted to ask you was, going back to the beginning of the band, did you and John start out the band with the lyrically political overtones, or was that just something that came after the band started?
Okay, when John and I had been at the same school, and then we'd been at the same university,
Right.
so, you know, we knew each other pretty well, you know, and we'd been in a band when we were 16, 17, called the Bourgeois Brothers.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And a lot of it was just like fooling around, just kind of joking around. And I think we went to New York in '76, and hang out with. Well, we stayed in the flat of Mary Harron, who was the film director who made
American Psycho?
American Psycho and
Another film.
I shot. Was it where I shot Andy Warhol? Was it?
I believe
That sounds right.
I believe so. Yeah.
She did that one. Back then, she was a journalist for. Well, she was a journalist, not just about music and stuff. And she very kindly hosted us for a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, and just off St. Mark's Square. And so we used to go to CBGBs every night. And
Oh wow.
so we'd sort of like, you know, sort of be at the bar with somebody from television would be there. You know, John Cale would be there.
Oh wow.
Joey Ramone would be over there, and you'd all be talking to each other. We'd all
Right.
be like drinking and talking to each other, and it was sort of. It all seemed so easy and natural that I think that was the point there where we thought, okay, let's do this seriously.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we'd done lots of stuff. We'd fooled around writing songs. You know,
Right.
we used to have these chess sessions where we'd get a sort of bottle of gin and play chess all day. Art students,
Right. Yeah.
very lazy.
I've been there.
Yeah, and you know, and then you know, so every move would probably take half an hour because we kind of fool around with the song. You know,
Right.
and then I think it was. There's a certain point when we started, things started to fall into place and started getting, you know, it was like punk rock didn't mean much to me. You know, I loved seeing the Sex Pistols, or actually, I just lied. I've never seen the Sex Pistols. I liked, who was it I saw? The Clash, I suppose. I don't know, and the Damned and stuff, and all that stuff was fun. But it didn't mean an awful lot to me.
Mm-hmm.
I sort of got with Dr. Feelgood. I sort of got the point of you know of the quick, short, snappy song. You know, and I think when we started to try and put together, I think everything went to a sort of to the next level during 78 really. So by the time we recorded Entertainment in early summer of '79, I think, and you know, I was very conscious of some of the songs being sort of slightly silly and outdated, and some of the ones being really cool, and you know, that kind of the funkiness and the very deliberate placing of all the rhythms and the ideas that we were kind of working on. So yeah, it was like trying to replace the dodgy songs with the better ones. You know?
Gotcha.
And so I mean, it's just a snapshot in time.
Right.
You know, it's like given another couple of months, we probably would have been better. But.
What was it like when you played the Erg Festival back in 1980?
Oh yeah. What, you mean the film thing?
Yeah.
Well, that was Miles Copeland, wasn't it? He put it all together.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. I think we did 3 songs, but only one was. The idea was only one would be in the film.
Right.
Which I think was he'd send in the army. I think it's great. I think it's a great snapshot in time. You know. I wonder if I don't know who's got all that film.
They have it. They bootlegged it actually. I got it at Amoeba Records on Haight Street, and it was amazing to watch.
Yeah.
I enjoyed watching it.
But you see, I think they filmed 3. I think they filmed 3 songs.
Got it.
So I'd like to
Oh, I see what
know
you're saying.
what happened to those.
Right, the other two.
I've been told that there's so many different people involved that the legal side of it is such a mess that they can't get everybody to sign up to anything, you know.
Right. Especially with all the bands involved as well.
With all those bands involved. Yeah. All their managements, all their different interests.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Do you guys still rehearse or perform a cover of Sweet Jane? I enjoyed hearing you guys.
I haven't done it in years. Every now and then I sort of think, oh, maybe we should do... Oh, I forget it. No, it's a great song. It's a great song. Yeah, we should pull that one out of the closet.
Yes. Tonight. I'll be like, hey, remember me?
They seriously freak out if I...
Oh, really?
In a good way, I would hope.
Well, Andy, are you sure? We've only got half an hour till we're on. What do you mean learn the new song?
That's hilarious.
We've never done it. Not these covers.
With this lineup?
No.
Gotcha.
And how long has this current lineup been together?
Well, Thomas has been with me for 8 years, which is amazing to think about, really. Very long time. Jayla on vocals since... It must be about 4 years now that he's been doing stuff with me. And that's Thomas laughing.
Having a grand old time.
Yeah, he's got one of the loudest laughs. If you're ever lost anywhere in the world, listen carefully and you'll find there's Thomas.
Send him a text message with a funny joke.
Yeah. And Johnny Finnegan on drums since, I don't know, a year or two.
And where do you see the band going from here on out?
Well, I've kind of got a lot of the new album kind of ready to go, and I think what I would do is I want to do it more as a band thing and not so much me as a producer, you know, which I think just kind of make it more live. I think that's kind of what I want to do with the next thing. Make it more, you know, just rehearse with the band, you know, just keep rehearsing it and working on it, and then kind of like they did in the 50s.
Now would this also be through Metropolis?
Probably.
Okay.
I mean, it's up to them, but
right, yeah.
Probably. I mean, I think they're a fantastic label.
Yeah.
You know.
It was a little bit weird when I heard that that the new album is being released through Metropolis, because I think of Metropolis and I think of like industrial, like angry agro-tech bands like KMFDM or like Mindless Self-Indulgence, and all of a sudden here's Gang of Four coming out with a new album on Metropolis. It just seemed like a little bit of a weird match.
Yeah, no, because I didn't know that much about them as a label. You know, and basically, you know, you kind of ask people, you ask people advice and say, oh, you should talk to them. You know. And Dave Heckman, who runs the label, is he's a really cool music guy, you know, and I said to him, I said to him, I think this new record is one of the best things I've done. He said, yeah, sure, Andy, everybody says that. And it was really nice, because about 3 weeks later, he sent me an email saying, do you know what? I think you're right. So I've listened to it about 100 times now, and I think it's, you know, something special. So that was nice of him.
That's so cool.
That's great. Well, we're really excited to see your performance at the new Parish, and it was lovely to speak with you.
It was great to speak to you.
And have a good evening.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks a lot.
I was actually wondering, I did bring my copy of